Hi, Pete. How are you?
Keith, it's nice to have you back in sports again.
Thank you kindly. I hope we can say that to you again in the ensuing years.
Well, don't hold your breath.
All right, but when we asked you to come on tonight, it was to talk about the World Series and some things that relate to you that your perspective is nearly, if not unique about. And I still want to ask you about them, but I've got to ask you, I can't start anywhere else. Is there anything new? Is there any sign of life on getting you out of this?
No, it seems in my situation, Keith, if baseball can't use me in some way, they don't contact me. And I understand that.
Yeah.
You know, I'm the one that screwed up. I'm not mad at anybody. I'm not mad at Bud or Bart. And I haven't given up on Bud giving me a second chance. I know he's retiring after next year. But, hey, I'll continue just to be a great ambassador for the game of baseball and try to keep selling the game of baseball because I love the game.
If there was a way back in now or in the future, what would your expectations be about what you would wind up doing? I mean, you don't want to manage again, do you? Do you want to work for the Reds again? What do you want to do?
Well, the only thing I'd like to do in baseball, Keith, is manage, because I can help young players become better players. I did that when I went back to Cincinnati as player manager in 1984. And if you watched the World Series, which I know you did, you know, the only people happy with that World Series were people in Boston.
Yeah.
You know, us baseball fans, you're a baseball fan. I mean, that was a poorly played World Series. Defensively, base running, bunting, lack of bunting, lack of getting guys over, lack of getting guys in. And, you know, when you have a team like the Cardinals that hit 330 this year with men on scoring position, they hit 218 in the World Series. And you had Boston, of course, Poppy had a great series. I think he was 11 for 16. The next guy on his team hit 250. So I know the pitching was good, but it wasn't that good all year that these guys can't get some hits.
No, and my goodness, to have a World Series game end on an obstruction call for the winning team to throw the ball away at third base twice, for the guy to get picked off and tell you afterwards in a 4-2 game that he's taking that long lead so he can get to third base on a single when his run, all he has to do is not get thrown out or picked up. There's something wrong with the fundamentals of the game. We know that much for sure.
Well, you know, Keith, if you think about it, Tim McCarver was right when he analyzed that play, because realistically, the Red Sox shouldn't have even been holding that kid on.
True.
They should have been protecting that double down the right field line, and they come out smelling like a rose. But that was just like last night's game. I think Ellsbury got picked off. There was 4 throws from the Cardinals, and he ends up sliding back into first base safe. I mean, that wasn't the Cardinal team that I watched all summer, Keith. There's no way in the world.
Right, and the pitcher wound up handling the ball last. All right, let me ask you one more thing about reinstatement. We've talked about this before. I think it could be argued that when you were managing, that if you were betting on games while you were managing, that you leave yourself open to the accusation that you were altering outcomes based on uses of pinch hitters or relief pitchers on one. I'm not saying it happened. I'm just saying you leave yourself open to that accusation. Somebody could go back and find out whether or not if there's any case to be made for it, how many times. But my argument would be if it happened a handful of times. And so in this context, I don't understand. You hurt yourself. Maybe you hurt the Reds in a series of a couple of games. The guys who have done performance-enhancing drugs in the years since you were banished, both sets of scandals, altered pennant races, careers. They kept certain guys who weren't cheating from ever playing in the major leagues or making just the minimum salary. Right. I don't understand. How do they still have standing in this game, and you wound up with the death penalty?
Well, what surprises me, Keith, about a lot of the guys convicted or said that PEDs are part of their life, when they come back into the game, the people, 50,000 people, give them standing ovations. Yeah. I mean, I guarantee you Babe Ruth wasn't in that audience giving a standing ovation, or Roger Maris wasn't in that audience, or Hank Aaron wasn't in that audience, because those are the records that have been shattered. But you know, what I did was wrong, but what I did also is I tried to win every night as manager of the Cincinnati Reds, and I was wrong, no question about it, but it's history, and I can't get away from it. I can't get around it.
All right. I continue to not understand why, but while I have you, I promise we talked a little bit about the series and fundamentals, but here's something that's right down your alley. Jim Leland now says that he thinks they really are going to legislate home plate collisions, and the most famous play in All-Star history, obviously, is you going into Ray Fosse in the 1970 game. Should we legislate that kind of play out of existence, or what should we do about plays at the plate?
Well, you can't eliminate that. If the catcher's going to block the plate, that's what's going to happen. In the case with myself and Ray Fosse, he had the plate blocked. I started to slide head first, and if I slide, I'm going to break both collarbones. And the advantage I had was the ball was about this far from him. And to be honest with you, he was breaking the rules because I think the rule book says you can't block the plate if you don't have the ball. And the ball was about this far to him. You can't concentrate on two things. And I hit him before the ball got to him. But I tried to ask him, was he okay? I mean, that's part of the game.
Yeah.
I mean, you can't take everything away from it. I mean, you know, every time someone turns around, they're getting an MRI. There must be the best-looking girls in the world at the MRI machine because guys are going every day to get MRIs. It's unbelievable. You and I should go to the MRI machine.
No, thanks. I barely fit in an MRI machine. A little too big for that. A little too claustrophobic for that. Pete Rose.
I hear that.
As I said, I don't get it at all anymore. I'm a complete convert from the other side. Good luck on it. I have no idea what that would be, but if I can ever do anything for you on the subject of getting reinstated, let me know what it is.
Keith, I appreciate it. Keep up the good work. And like I said, it's nice to have you back in sports again.
Thank you, Pete. It is a pleasure to be back. And thanks for your time tonight. Take care.
Okay.